All right, guys, so I got to tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying the pendulum swinging the other way against the left in the so-called culture wars because they're getting a taste of their own medicine. And it seems like there is liberal slash leftist meltdown after leftist meltdown after leftist meltdown with each and every single passing day. Okay, I am thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, I got to tell you. This has been a fun time to be in this industry, right? Of, I guess, commentating on politics and culture and, and stuff that happens on the internet. So, with that being said, we have another meltdown that we got to talk about, okay? As Taylor Lorenz, whom got flamed for doxing libs of TikTok, is melting down once again because she's now being epically trolled by Tim Pool in the Daily Wire over the fact that she came out and lied about doxing libs of TikTok, in which Taylor Lorenz told Brian Stelter that she in fact did not reveal any personal information about libs of TikTok.
Well, the word doxing has been so devalued and it just kind of is a buzzword now in the right-wing media. Doxing means revealing highly personal, non-public information with the goal of harassment or sort of destroying someone's life. We absolutely did not reveal any personal information about this woman at all. Remotely. And, you know, I know that sometimes reporting practices can seem foreign to people that aren't familiar with journalism, but this was very by the book and very benign. And
yeah, so according to this delusional woman, apparently revealing somebody's identity that runs an anonymous Twitter account, a Twitter account solely dedicated to reposting leftists exposing themselves, by the way, but revealing this person's identity, including their name, their occupation, their address, okay, where they stay, the neighborhood they live in, revealing that information and putting that on a major news outlet is not considered doxing. That's not considered posting personal information or revealing personal information that was not public until she actually posted it, right? Or put it this way, most people didn't know about it till she actually posted it or didn't know how to find it or to get the information, okay? And she definitely posted it with the intent of having people go after libs of TikTok because they felt like libs of TikTok was a threat to the LGBTQ community, right? So she's up here lying about how she did not dox libs of TikTok or reveal personal information when she in fact did, which is why Tim Pool and the gang, right, are now trolling her because she's doubling down on lies instead of just admitting that she doxed libs of TikTok. So without further ado, let's read about this, and then we're going to get into the back and forth and the complete meltdown going on Twitter from Taylor Lorenz, in which you guys should not be surprised to hear what she's claiming in response to this hilarious troll from Tim Pool. After Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post doxed the anonymous Twitter account Libs of TikTok, then denied it, YouTuber Tim Pool of Timcast bought a billboard in Times Square, New York to call them out. Quote, the Washington Post and Taylor Lorenz doxed Libs of TikTok. They included a link to private work details and an address listed as Lib's private home. They lied about it, so I got an ad in Times Square calling them out. Thanks to Jeremy D. Boring for the assist, Pool wrote on Twitter. So Jeremy Boring is the CEO of Daily Wire. That's the company that Ben Shapiro works for. Hey, Washington Post, the billboard reads, democracy dies in darkness. That's why we're shining a light on you. Taylor Lorenz doxed Libs of TikTok. Right? Wow, this is absolutely amazing. The billboard was a collaboration between the Daily Wire's Jeremy Boring, who had the billboard in place to advertise his new razor company, Jeremy's Razors. When Pool tweeted out asking if he could buy a billboard saying Lorenz and Washington Post doxed Libs of TikTok, Boring said he was, quote, good for half, and then arranged to swap over the ad for his company to Pool's message. Boy, I wonder how much that costs, right? These guys are paid, right? Apparently. I mean, they're just out here, buying billboards just to troll. It was last week that Taylor Lorenz, writing for the Washington Post, did an expose on the anonymous Twitter account, Libs of TikTok, which posted clips found on TikTok and social media of leftists speaking about their proclivities. Often these clips show people proudly revealing and boosting their gender identity or their perspective on race and anti-racist entirely from a leftist perspective. Lorenz claimed that the account targeted people in the LGBTQ community, but the account shows people speaking about themselves in their own words with pride. The Washington Post claims that Lorenz had not doxed the account owner, but when the article ran, there were links to the account owner's address and personal information. Their claim was a lie. Lorenz claimed that she doxed Libs of TikTok over concern that the account holder could be a quote-unquote foreign actor. It was revealed that the Antifa-affiliated accounts Lorenz based her reporting on were actually funded by the German government. Quote, I think it is rare to see an account gain so much prominence so quickly and be shaping these narratives in such an effective way, especially against trans people, Lorenz said. So my story was kind of long, but I really wanted to make the case like why this account mattered. Quote, for all we knew, this could have been a foreign actor, right? Or someone we just didn't know, Lorenz declared. And so I thought, hey, look, this account has massive power, massive influence. This woman is basically on an entire right-wing media tour. She gave interviews to the New York Post, Tucker, all of that, and register as a media company, register a trademark. Yeah, this woman thought Libs of TikTok was a threat, okay? And now they have come after Libs of TikTok because of the fact that the GOP is pushing this legislation, okay? Again, inspired by a lot of things that Libs of TikTok has simply reposted. Okay, they didn't expose it, they just reposted it, right? These are things that leftists film themselves doing, and for whatever reason, they post on the internet. And when normal people see that stuff, right, that particularly is happening in classrooms, yeah, they get outraged because they don't want that stuff happening. They don't agree with it. It wouldn't be controversial if they weren't doing anything wrong, right? But that's the reason why it's controversial. After the doxing, which inadvertently dragged in another woman of the same name, Lorenz complained that her family was doxed. Libs of TikTok popularity skyrocketed amid the fallout. All right, so this is now took to Twitter, okay, as Taylor Lorenz has actually responded to this billboard. As she says, Tim Pool and the CEO of the Daily Wire took out a giant billboard in New York Times today in an attempt to discredit my reporting on Libs of TikTok. Then she goes on to do what all these leftists do anytime they receive any criticism. Right? And you guessed it. They claim that the criticism of them is violence towards them. So let's actually read this. And I'm going to read this in my mocking voice because that's what it deserves. Quote, this billboard is undeniably so idiotic, it's hilarious. But don't forget that these campaigns have a much darker and more violent side. I'm grateful to be at a newsroom that recognizes these bad faith, politically motivated attacks and has a strong security team. Yeah, so that's her basically saying that Tim Pool and the Daily Wire, they're basically trying to commit acts of violence against her, right? That's what she's saying, right? That's what she's claiming without directly really saying it. She's saying that this campaign, this billboard, basically could result in violence against her. Again, it's amazing how she didn't think about this when she doxed Libs of TikTok. For whatever reason, this billboard, this simple billboard, just saying that she doxed Libs of TikTok, she interprets as potentially violent. But a whole article posted in the Washington Post revealing the identity of a woman that they claim is a threat to the LGBTQ community that doesn't have the potential to be violent, right? It's amazing how this works, right? Ain't it amazing how this works? When the left does stuff, it's totally fine. It's journalism, right? But when the right does stuff, it's an act of violence. It's doxing. Okay, again, this is the same person that has complained and cried on national TV about people revealing personal information about her and her family. But again, when she does it, it's okay. It's journalism. It's fair game. Tim Pool has responded basically saying, I'm not discrediting your reporting. I repeatedly said it was justified in publishing a name we can argue the merits. I'm calling you out for lying when you and the Washington Post deny linking to private details. You published Lib's private address. Just own it. Yeah, they did, right? And then they tried to delete it and edit it after they got called out about it. Because, again, the purpose here was to expose Libs of TikTok and to potentially have people go after her, okay? He says, I'm glad to hear you're not upset and your friends and fans are also happy. It's the way it should be. You make a statement, I contest it. We all made our points heard. You on CNN, mom's in Times Square. Now we move on. Bro, I love this. Quote, my family and my friends are not happy. They have been subject to a non-stop stream of hateful attacks, doxing, and violent attacks driven by this baseless campaign. Happy to hear that you're moving on. Again, this is her basically saying that what Tim Pool is doing, what the Daily Wire is doing, any criticism of her is a threat of violence, right? It is violence against her. This is what people stoop to when they can't take criticism. When they're called out on their BS, that is what they stoop to. And I'm so sick and tired of people doing that. I really am. It is one of the weakest moves I've ever seen in my life. Anytime somebody says anything about you that has nothing to do with violence, that you don't like, that makes you feel uncomfortable, that might be a little embarrassing. Oh, you're committing violence against me. You're trying to hurt me. It's the same thing those people at BLM do. Right? Patrice Cullors, she does the same thing. You know, I mean, this woman went as far as to call tax statements, tax documents, revealing what your nonprofit did with your donations as a form of violence. That's what she called it, right? She said it was harmful. She gets triggered by it. Again, they do this with anything, literally anything. Anything that can be used to criticize them or that might make them look bad is a threat of violence. And they do that in order to shut down conversation. That's the point. They don't want any conversation. They don't want any criticism. And they immediately throw that card simply to try to shut people up, right? And to try to play victim. And it's really disgusting. It really is. This is honestly the new race card, right? That words and criticism of violence is the new race card, right? It's the new homophobic, transphobic card. That's what it is, okay? And it is one of the most annoying things I've ever seen in my life. So, like I said, man, kudos to Tim Pool and the Daily Wire for this epic troll. Taylor Lorenz, unsurprisingly, continues to melt down and embarrass herself and discredit herself as a so-called journalist, right? But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.